Got them on there. Can I bring a burger on the trail?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order, please. At this time, I would ask that everyone stand. We'll have the invocation led by Robert Archibald, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Vernon Brooks.
You will join me in prayer. Dear gracious God, we come to you today, Father, and we're so thankful for the opportunity to gather here today. We thank you for our health. We thank you for our safety throughout this day. And we ask that you bless this meeting, and Father, that all things that come from this meeting are beneficial to this community. And we thank you and ask for your protection throughout the remainder of this week. And we give you thanks in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Granberry? Absent. Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Blankenship? Here. Mr. Bailey?
Here.
Mr. White?
Here.
Four present.
There's a quorum present. The meeting is officially open. It's time we go into the approval of correction of the minutes from the prior meeting of July 17th. All those are received. Any corrections, additions, or comments?
Mayor, I read that one, I saw none.
Motion been made that minutes are approved. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The minutes are approved. Item 5, awards, presentations, and appointments. We have one item here, appointment to the Recreation Commission. Got a resignation on that due to work conflict, and it's my privilege to appoint Ms. April Mobbs to that position for the remainder of the term.
Yes.
Ms. Hilder, what is the remainder of that term, please?
I apologize, I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll make sure when we reach out to Ms. Moms, we share that with her, and we'll let you know. I think it's about 2 years.
Okay. Chair would entertain a motion for ratification.
So moved.
Moved, is it second?
Second.
Duly seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
With like sign, April Mobbs been approved for the Recreation Committee if that's vacancy. Item 6, completion, review of unfinished business from prior meeting.
We don't have anything, ma'am.
No unfinished business.
No.
I think we got a lot
We
of
finished our
unfinished
business.
Yeah, we got a lot of unfinished business.
Nothing left.
A whole lot.
Nothing left.
I've never known a board that didn't have unfinished business. Okay.
Nothing on the agenda.
Yes, nothing on the agenda.
Item 7, monthly report from the mayor. I think that the city manager will let her elaborate on this a little more. We've been very fortunate to get a lot of grants this year. Maybe she can go over those and briefly and tell us amounts and all of that. We're real proud of that and had a really great year and getting a lot of really good things that will help Mount Pleasant. So that's basically about all I've got to say. Thank you. Item 8, monthly financial budget report.
Good evening. The finance department is, of course, undergoing a lot of upgrading on our accounting systems and software systems. The first step to do this is we are upgrading our credit card processing. All this is going to be actually, once it's completed, will give our customers more information at their fingertips. So they can go in, look at their account, see the balances and the activity in their account. Whereas right now, all they can do is go in and make a payment. They can't look to see what their balance is or anything. That's all they can do. So actually, we will start tomorrow making those upgrades. That also means, so you may get some feedback from some of the our customers that they are going to actually have to set up a whole new profile on their online account in order to be able to access that. But once they do that, that's a one-time thing. That once they get that set up, then they will be able to look at their account 24/7 and make payments
this
as
be
well.
utilities and property taxes?
And it will also include property taxes. Up to this point, we've never accepted credit card payments or debit card payments for property taxes, and now with this upgrade, we will be able to do that. That step is in the process. It's in the weeks to come. Actually, I spoke to her right before we came in, and she looks like it's almost ready, and it'll probably be in the next few days that'll be out there and available as well as
What's
the
the
utility.
service charge to customers?
Yes, it is paid by the customers on the front end, and I think it's 2.9%.
Is there a minimum?
Oh, yes, there's a, I think it's a, $2 minimum per,
That's right, yeah.
yeah, and then it's a percentage.
And it tells you that.
Yeah,
When
it
you do
tells
the transaction.
When you go in there, it tells you.
I mean, that's standard, so it's...
But there's not where you can do it automatically each month, though.
No.
We don't have that yet.
Well, we have bank
Yeah,
draft.
we have bank draft automatically.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we have had that. This is,
Unbeknownst, oh, well, I
Yeah.
know that. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb myself,
yeah,
not...
this is actually, that's a separate process, and there's no charge for that.
Yeah.
The bank draft is something that we're able to work with our bank, and
We can already do that.
we can already do that.
But this year will be down the road, all right, eventually, you'll be able to do it?
We're doing it tomorrow.
The utility payment,
The
effective
utility
tomorrow, you'll be able to go on
tomorrow.
and sign on as a new customer on your account and see what you owe and make payments.
Yeah, that will actually
What
be
she's saying a
available.
little bit down the road is the taxes.
Is the
since they're not-
property
That's not
tax.
even ready yet, taxes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, which the property taxes haven't been set anyway. We just want to make sure it's there, ready, so that when they do get those property tax bills, that it's there, ready for them. And that is a convenience for the customer. Our financials for the month of July, of course, July is the first month of the fiscal year, and we do have a little bit more expenditures, although overall it was still 6.57%. And that's due to, we do quite a few budget POs for the first of the year to cover things like hardware store, local store, where it gives our guys an easier access to buying those small repetitive items. That concludes my report. Do you have any questions?
How much did you say first one, 6 point what?
6.5%. Okay, the first month is usually a little bit more because we do
Yeah,
those
sure.
blanket POs, and also there's some things that they've held off. When I cut them off in June, 1st of June, there's some purchases that held off on making, and end up making those the 1st of July.
Sure.
I usually do a bunch of POs around the first week of July.
I can believe that.
Make a motion, make it in favor of the transfer, please.
Okay, motion for approval of the budget has been made, is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That report has been received. Record, if you would note that Commissioner Granberry is here, and we have 100% attendance. Okay, number 9, the monthly report from City Manager.
Mayor and Commissioners, I'm collecting the reports from the department heads, and I put that together to create the State of the City that will be available September 1st online and at City Hall.
You want to, for the benefit of those
You wanna
who
do that
don't
now?
know, just read those grants that we've got.
Yes, okay.
Please, ma'am.
So, these are the we've applied for 8 grants in the last year, and we received 8 grants. The first is $2.5 million from the United States Department of Agriculture through Rural Development for wastewater system improvements. The second is through the Community Development Block Grant Funds that Murray County allowed us to apply for, and that is $525,000, also for wastewater sewer improvements. The third is the Community Development Block Grant, which was applied through the City of Mount Pleasant, also $525,000 for wastewater sewer improvements. Then we received the Tennessee Department of Transportation Transportation Alternative Grant for $1,250,000, which is part of the downtown revitalization. Also through USDA Rural Development, just under $50,000 for a fire truck. Through the Murray Regional Healthcare Foundation, $31,150 for the spin class equipment for our fitness program. Through the Dog Park Dash Grant Program, we received $25,000 to develop a dog park in Mount Pleasant. Through the State of Tennessee Local Parks and Recreation Funds, we received $75,000 to build a splash pad with partners with our schools as our partners. And that's $5 million, just under $5 million, $4,981,000. But I feel like I need to add, too, that last night the County Commission approved $2.8 million to build the courtroom for General Sessions Part 2. So that's about an $8 million infusion into our community, aside from public-private partnerships where you've got an industry building their headquarters here and a lot going on with commercial retail development. So pretty exciting time right now.
Real good.
Thank you.
They'll all be in my monthly report, too.
Any questions for the man?
I just want to make a note that if you'll notice, and it's not going to be talked about much, but it's a significant increase year over year of the amount of water that we're selling versus what we used to.
Yes.
Significant, 7%. When you start talking about 7% and millions of gallons that are processed, it's dollars.
It's incrementally getting better.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, that's my compliments to everybody that's, because these reports, folks, y'all don't take that lightly. I can see. Thank you for what you do with it.
Paul Harvey used to say the other side of the story.
The rest of the
Right,
story.
Mount Pleasant is certainly not out of the woods by any manner. This is not to be negative, it's not to be plastic gloom and doom on anything. It's nice to get all these nice stipends to do things with. It still doesn't help us with our street repair, our sewer, even though we got a couple of $1 million, well more than that, about $3 million to use specifically in our sewer system. That's not going to get it done. It's a great start, but we've still got a lot of work to do, and people say, why are you getting all these other things? Why don't you fix the streets with money? You cannot do that, folks. It's simple. It's cut in black and white. You only use the money for what it says you can use it for. So that's why we're trying to get these things to make our citizens' lives better. I know the $50 sewer bill has got to go away someday, and we've taken, I think, all the proper steps to get that done. We're still going to be, my own personal guesstimate is about 3 years before we get this thing down, paid down with the interest and so forth, and the things going around. Our streets are a disgrace. I'm ashamed of them. They're just bad, but we're working on it, and our employees, Mount Pleasant got some great employees, folks. So they do a great job, and it's really a good thing that we have good, dedicated employees. But we're getting there. Everybody be with us. First time in my life, people have in Columbia been telling me how great Mount Pleasant's doing, and that's highly unusual. I grew up in Columbia, but I've been down here 51 years, so I'm almost going to be accepted. Probably. I'm not going to get 100% of the vote.
You know, we're behind you.
But Mount Pleasant's doing well, and I brag on all these people that made these things happen, and we're going to get there. It's just going to take a little bit longer. Okay, item 10, special reports from other city departments or committees if applicable.
And Mayor and members of the commission, for liaison report will simply be for quite some time, going through all the details of the rural development loan and grant. It's incredibly detailed, and I finish what I need to do, hand it to Corey, then it comes back to me, then it goes to Doug Shelton, and it's just going to be ongoing for a while. To the point where we're actually even having to do different title searches and all kinds of stuff. But we're staying on top of it.
Okay. Item 11, new business. Number A, ordinance 2018-1023, first reading, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code related to refuge and trash disposal by repealing Chapters 1 and 2 in their entirety and replacing Title 17, Chapter 1 with a new chapter pertaining to refuge.
And Mayor and Commissioners, if you remember, when we met in July, this came in front of you as addressing both refuse and bulky items, and we have separated that out, where what you're looking at right now, ordinance 2018-1023, is simply refuse, our garbage, regular garbage pickup. And we've never had the rates or the rules in an ordinance before. They were adopted in minutes years ago, but we believe that definitely needs to be in an ordinance. So this ordinance accomplishes putting all the rules down, setting the rates. The change in rates that we're recommending is lowering the commercial rates and changing the language for having an extra can from rental to an additional service fee so that we don't get involved with sales tax, and increasing that extra can from $5 to $10. And it also has discretion in there for the city manager to replace the can where we believe it's warranted, stolen, or something like that. We talked about that in the last meeting in July. In front of you is a lengthy summary of the two ordinances, both the refuse and the bulky and brush. You don't have to take a look at it now. You can take it with you. It talks about changes we've made in both the ordinances, so that you're aware of it. Of course, this will be up for second reading in September. But happy to answer any other questions on this first one. I felt important that we move forward on setting the sanitation rate as soon as we could. It's entitled 2018 Refuse and Bulky Summary of Ordinance 2018, because this was prepared when we only had one ordinance in front of us. But the changes still hold true. Have I missed anything, Cory?
No, that's the only change that's not reflected on the summary is where y'all requested that the city manager have discretion to waive that $75 fee for the can, but she mentioned that. So if you need a copy of that, I have one.
I think I gave them each one. So we would recommend passing this on first reading, unless you've got further questions or concerns. Did we not copy them? Did I not copy them correctly?
Yeah, I just had one sheet.
Okay.
That I didn't have.
We didn't get the one with strong drink.
So, no, you didn't get that ordinance? Huh.
I had one laying here with
He
me.
had one laying there, but wasn't one, yeah, that's what I was.
Okay, we'll go over that when we get to that. It's not big changes at all.
That was
Looking for the strong drink in this one. Okay.
Chairman, entertain a motion to discuss this ordinance from you two.
Are we voting on both of them?
No, you're voting on just 2018-1023, just the sanitation rate.
Not the budget.
Correct.
Okay.
Bulky is is C on the agenda.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll make a motion, we approve ordinance 2018-1023.
And duly seconded. Now, is there further discussion, any questions you want to ask about this now? It's first reading, so we'll go to the next one.
Question is how we are going to distribute this information.
That's always a challenge, the best way to do that is, one, through social media, but we have a large population that doesn't read social media. We can put things in the larger newspaper, the Herald, and if we have enough feedback, we can do a mailer. We can send things out through our text program. We can have something handed out when people come in and pay their bills. We've got lots of different ways that will hit different audiences. We don't have anything that will hit everybody, but we do need to get the message out.
Is it too large to go? I guess it is too large to a utility bill.
Oh yeah, way too large. We only allowed like 10, 15 words.
Well, just something.
It could say there are changes.
It could say changes and posted City Hall.
Yeah.
It'd be very expensive though, I guess, when you send out the bill, put them in an envelope and then put
Yeah,
it
no,
inside.
we don't
That'd
have
be-
the equipment. That'd be prohibitive.
We don't have the ability, right? We'd have to hire that out. So this is not really impacting residential much, our largest customers. It's a cut for the commercial users so that, you won't be hearing complaints from them.
I think we just put a notice on the utility bill that said change in and then.
Please call with questions.
Of course, you might be inundated with phone calls and that might be another thing too, I don't know.
What I was thinking is we could put changes to sanitation rates will be posted at City Hall.
And on our website, and
Yeah, I think if we did that.
Because it is going to affect you in the fact that we're changing times, they're going to have out of town, they're going to
it's been our practice, it's just not really ever been enforced
Well,
much.
yeah, we're even talking about signing, that's cool. That's different now.
And that would be a very unusual situation, I think.
And a time,
The constant, yeah,
and a time frame of when it's going to,
yeah.
when it starts.
It's more to address somebody that would just keep their can out there constantly and not bring it back and forth.
If there's no further discussion, call for a vote, please. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, that ordinance is passed on first reading. Item B, ordinance 2018-1024, first reading, an ordinance to amend Title 19 of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code relating to gas by repealing Chapter 3 in its entirety and replacing Title 19, Chapter 3 with a new chapter pertaining to gas.
Mayor and Commissioners, as you are aware, we just completed our gas rate study, our cost of service study, as we had in sanitation as well. And the recommendation that we have from Jim Marshall is that we are a rare gas company in that we did not have a customer maintenance charge. And we have changed that service fee to maintenance charge in the version of the gas ordinance that will be in front of you for second reading. Some of you may have a copy of that as well. But that is the largest change, is that we're adding that customer maintenance charge into the system. And we are also adding a reconnection charge of $50. If your gas is cut off throughout the summer and you want it cut back on, there's a reconnection charge. I'm happy to address any questions.
And that's what happens when you add for rate studies about it.
Yes. Well, no one in this area that we can find does not have a maintenance charge to maintain their system 12 months out of the year. And most of them are, in fact, all of them are higher than the $5 that is proposed. And you do maintain a system for 12 months out of the year for miles and miles of gas lines. So I think it's important that we have that, to make sure that we're keeping our system where it needs to be. And as we discussed, we were having problems with gas getting cut off and paying nothing and then getting reconnected. Even though they're not using gas, we're still maintaining those lines. It's a system that, if not maintained, can be very dangerous.
Further discussion, There's a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve been made. Is there a second? Second. Duly seconded. Is there any further discussion for the vote?
Corey, is there anything else I've missed?
No, I don't think so. The red line copy of the ordinance that you have in your packet just reflects the changes that were made to the ordinance that was put in there in 1985. So it's just, the only substantial change from your practice is this customer service charge and the reconnection fee. There are other changes, but they're just reflecting what you're already doing.
I don't have an issue with reconnection fee, but I still have an issue with customer fee, because, I mean, it's like, if you got gas, you're being taxed for it now. If you got, some of us being taxed for sewage, we're being high taxed for sewage for mistakes that, other people made. And I just personally don't think it's right. I'm sorry, I'm just not agreeing.
And I respect that. I just know that that we are maintaining a large system year-round, and this was the result of paying to have a rate study that it's really unheard of not to have one. My understanding is we've had one for years and years. It was $3. Why it was dropped, I don't know.
And that's what we have.
Then you get a rate study and someone says, why don't you have one? So that's what we are.
And that's what we have to do.
Well, this is not a rate increase in our gas. It's a service fee for maintaining our service of
Your
gas.
gas rate is still what it has been. It's calculated the same way it has been.
And as a person that does have gas service at the house that has, so this is the first time I've not had a rate at Columbia, even when you lived in Shady Grove and had, even when you had propane, you had a customer service fee for your propane, in addition to it when maintaining your tank there. And as a customer, I can't tell you how many times I've had the utility company come out and check my connections there, particularly the animals or cows that give it to.
Call for the vote, please. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign.
No.
Motion passes 4-1, four for, 1 against. Item C, ordinance 2018-1025, first reading, an ordinance to amend Title 17 of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code relating to refuse and trash disposal by adding Chapter 2, governing the waste collection of junk and bulky items and yard waste.
Mayor, Commissioners, this is what I was talking about earlier, that we've carved this out to create another ordinance. Again, the handout that's in front of you talks about all the changes in the bulky ordinance. Honestly, I need some direction from you on what you would like to do, move forward, drop it for now, discuss it at other public meetings. I'm not getting that much direction, and I know it's something that a lot of people get this service, and we want to make sure they're involved in this discussion as we make any changes.
I thought that we talked informally in the study session, that we would defer this item.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mayor, I'm going to make a motion that
I
we
just want to
defer
make sure
this.
that I had it in a formal motion.
That we defer this until December of this year.
Okay.
Mayor's Christmas.
Say December, you know, that far?
Yeah, and here's the reason, and I thought you'd appreciate that.
You're not going to monitor the discussion.
But this is, I've talked to a lot of people about this as I run into them. It's a reality that every community has to provide this, and it is a headache, without question. It's equipment, it's man-hours, it's everything that costs us money. And talking to the other communities and the people that I've run into, everybody fights it. We're not unique in this. And I have not run into anybody yet that's come up with a real good answer in any other community of how you do it.
It's just if we could somehow get it more scheduled.
That is what I'm understanding from some of the other communities around here, that it's got more of a schedule. And the one thing that everybody I've talked with has struggled with more so than the brush is what I'll call the bulky, the old furniture and the old stuff that, for whatever reason, some people seem to think that that's the city's responsibility to haul off, and it's frankly not. The brush, I understand, that's something that, dear Lord, put the trees in the ground for us, thank the Lord, so we got oxygen, but that one, and I just don't know that there's a good answer, so I think we need to get, maybe when we have a public hearing or whatever we may decide to do down the road for some other things, maybe just bring it up.
Between now and then, could we get some information, and I know this is another, Steve's probably going to throw something at me, but if we could get some information of what it's costing, as approximate or man-hours that it's doing in the days, not precise, but just general information, and what it costs us to dispose of this. You may have it already, Steve, but for that, so that we can have something to present at a public, because it's going to warrant a public hearing, I'm sure. A notice of letting people know that we would limit this service or schedule this service or charge for it, because like all of us have said, it's something we've come to expect the city to do. And just like when we had the trash cans, we tried to do it, that it causes, disruption. We don't like change, but it's something we're going to have to do. So if you could, Steve, get us some, how much...
How we can figure out, calculate the cost of doing business.
Yeah, of just how much between now and December. How much
your brush? Both.
Both.
Yeah, both really.
Because you're going to have a season change. Well, right now, we had storms, so you face that. But with the season change and leaves starting to fall and people starting to prune back on things, you're going to have that. But then also, it seems like every time I turn around, I see more furniture out on the street or trash out on the street. How much of that are we picking up, and what is it costing? But doesn't it cost, when you take that to the landfill, we're being charged for that now. I mean,
Oh, yeah, quite a bit.
and how much are we? Okay, so how much are we being charged that, and what, in proportion, what would it cost us to keep providing the service? And that's part of the reason why we suggest putting it off, because we're doing this rate increase for a service charge on our gas, which is not very much, I mean, compared, but trying to spread it out so we're not
We'll do some homework on it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to go ahead and get a vote about deferring it, though.
Make a motion that we.
I made the motion.
He made a motion for December.
I'll second it, or
Second.
maybe Mike
Okay.
seconded it.
Motion been made to defer this,
To December.
number C till December. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That ordinance will be deferred until December meeting. Item D, ordinance 2018-26, first reading, an ordinance to amend portions of Title 8, Chapter 1 and 2 of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code relating to intoxicating liquor and beer.
Mayor, Commissioners, the changes in this are small. Some of you may have read the article in the Daily Herald where Columbia was making some changes in the last month or so. The new law allows the state allows you to sell beer in convenience stores and grocery stores at 10 a.m. and our current ordinance does not allow it until noon, which levels the playing field if we make it the same for the liquor stores as we do for the grocery stores. So that is one change. Also, the state, as Corey, you chime in if I say something incorrect, the state now has beer up to 8%, so we're mirroring the state with that definition. Also, our definition of intoxicating liquors did not meet the state, so we changed our definition to mirror the state. And there was a minor typo in our current ordinance that when we sent it to MTAS for everything to be codified, they caught, which I don't know why they didn't just change it, we made that change as well. So those are the changes that are in front of you. And did others not receive a copy of that? You all have a copy of that? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard you say you didn't have a copy of that.
I think Mike didn't have one.
Okay.
Go over one more time about the sale between the grocery store and the liquor
Okay.
store. And are our two liquor stores, are they only on Sunday?
Yes.
Both of them are?
Yes. And they can sell beer at 10 o'clock on Sunday.
And
If I go to the grocery
they
store
stay
right
open
now,
What kind of hours?
10 o'clock, I don't remember what closing time is. Do you, Chief, off the top of your head? It's in the
I know
evening.
some of the liquor stores didn't stay open, what I read about did not stay open.
I think the one over there across from the airport has an open sign, like a sandwich board, and it's there at 10 in the morning, and I think it's there till 6 o'clock in the
And then
evening.
they can sell beer.
At
At 10.
10. But if you went into CB's, you can't,
Not till after noon.
because
Okay.
the law changed for the liquor stores.
Well, what was the law change on the wine, because they were working on that, what?
The liquor stores can sell wine on Sundays, and as of January 1st, you'll be able to buy wine in the grocery store on Sundays.
But the
I don't know why the timing is different, but
He
it's the
was,
way that...
he was part of that business.
Yes.
He was
The bill that
making
went
this all that more,
Yeah,
that
so the
was-
bill went through.
This is really making up that 2 hours.
Have you had
on Sunday.
anybody ask to do this?
No, we read it in the paper, and I thought it made sense to make a level playing field, and it should be just as fair for Teejans to sell beer at 10 o'clock as it is for the liquor store. That's really what it is.
Or for the grocery store in Columbia to sell it at
Yes.
Legion's.
For years, the whole liquor industry's changed. For years, you couldn't sell beer in the liquor store.
Yeah, all that's changed over the years.
You could sell mixes, and you couldn't sell mixes for liquor
Right.
in the liquor store.
All that has changed.
All of it's
You
changed.
couldn't even have a pack of matches.
Matches liquor store.
Okay, folks,
figure.
Literally.
Yeah.
does everybody understand what we're talking about? All right, Chairman, entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve has been made. The second?
Second.
Duly seconded. Is there any further discussion? If it's going to be a negative vote, I'll call a roll.
For the most part, we're following the state law and changing in language in our ordinance that is different than the state law.
I'm not for state law. State law.
That's really what we're doing.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That has passed by roll. Okay. Item E, Resolution 2018-22, a resolution authorizing appropriation of municipal funds for nonprofit organizations, Transit Alliance of Middle Tennessee.
Mayor, Commissioners, as you know, we had somebody here at the study session to talk about the program. You all had questions, understandably, of what the program's goals were, but they are in our budget. for $250, but we need a vote from the commission if you do want to do that or not. So, open to the commissioners' comments and questions.
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
Motion made, duly seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Aye. Motion carried 4-1. I hope that next year we won't waste that $250. It's only $250, but if nobody in this room will ever see any benefit of it.
Could we have some more clarification next year on it, by looking at what...
And I don't know if it's an annual $250. I don't know.
I spent more than that going to meetings.
Well, I think Ms. Granberry's going to go to, I hope she does. Ms. Granberry's going to
That's what they have in January.
And she's going to go in January and put it on the time for us, for her, if she would, report back, because I just, you know, it'd be interesting to see what came of that from what the lady said. It was vague, but it could be something that might be, it sounded like she just wanted to have our name on it to say that it was, but who knows, you know?
Basically, it's membership of the club.
Yeah, but do we get any benefit from that membership?
Item F, Resolution 2018-35. A resolution approving a pilot payment in lieu of taxes agreement related to project N45.
Mayor, Commissioners, Travis Brook was here on the study session to discuss this project, that will be in Cherry Glen, the overall financial commitment, number of jobs, et cetera, and what is proposed in the resolution as for the pilot. And Travis is here. If you all have any additional questions since Thursday, happy to answer them. And this project is moving along very quickly.
I just think that we got it.
I have a question, I don't remember how many jobs.
150.
50?
$61 million investment.
I knew how much the investment was, I just knew it was 150 jobs that are, and these are not new people moving, that if they are transferring here, these are jobs open to qualified in the area now?
Very few transfers.
Correct, that's the projected job.
I just want to know if someone asked, I had no idea. Thank you.
Yeah, the big number's $61 million.
Well, you know, Saturn was a big number, but a lot of people thought there would be people from here that worked.
Well, they were when they first were going to come. That was
Right.
hoodoo.
This is not a union.
No, this is not,
Not union.
I was asking for clarification
Yeah.
so that the information could get out correctly. I didn't want us to be looked at, Mayor, but of that.
Well, I mean, they
Yeah.
changed the thing after.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I know. But that's a big number in 150
That's
jobs
probably
per year.
probably the meanest meeting I've ever been to.
I
was almost laying on of hands that night.
I make a motion to favor resolution 2018-35.
Okay,
And I'll
motion
second
made
it.
and duly seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign, the resolution is passed.
Thank you very much.
Item G, Resolution 2018-36, a resolution authorizing the City of Mount Pleasant to accept USDA Rural Development Community Facilities Grant Funds and contribute a match to purchase a fire truck.
Yes, Mayor and members of the commission, if you remember, this is actually on your agenda in July where we asked for permission to apply for this grant, where we actually were awarded the grant between July and August. But the dollar amounts changed. We didn't get quite the grant amount we were hoping for. So now this resolution in front of you has the grant funds of $47,500, with the city contributing $170,900, where the last one had the grant at $76,000. So this is corrected, and rather than asking for permission to apply, we're asking for permission to accept.
And also it attaches to resolutions that
That are required,
rural
yes.
development needs
Yeah,
to be
there's
signed.
certifications
And
and clubs.
those we're just getting
Yeah.
literally today from Doug Shelton.
And for y'all's information, all that is, because I see these pretty often, it's just a resolution saying that the loan documents are going to be acceptable to everybody, basically, and then that Mount Pleasant is an equal opportunity employer.
Like I said, they're very detailed at
Oh, yeah.
rural development.
I make a motion we accept.
Motion been made to accept. second. Further discussion. This keeps our ISO rating intact, right, and it makes us positive. Where are we now?
There are three.
We're three?
Yes.
So if we didn't do something like this, our equipment's gonna be, ISO could go down.
It will go down,
Yeah.
but that was just because we had an older engine and didn't want to risk ISO and safety, so.
Sometimes people don't understand when you buy big equipment like this, you see, because they're not used that much. But it is, if you lose that ISO rating, you lose your insurance. Because the insurance could go down, the homeowners could go down, that's right. Okay, all in favor, say, go ahead, Mike. Excuse me.
Sure don't mean like, excuse me, a vehicle, break down or something, down the road. Right.
With these plants too, we're doing this.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, resolution is passed. Item H, Resolution 2018-37, a resolution adopting the employee compensation plan for the city of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2018 and ending June 30th, 2019.
Mayor and Commissioners, we adopted the first compensation plan for the city last year, and this is something that each year we will be adopting and adjusting. This year has very little changes. We did find a few positions that kind of fell through the cracks, and so we've added a couple positions into the pay scale. So this is the pay scale that all the departments, including myself, have to follow as far as bringing people in. No lower than the minimums and no higher than the maximums, and we stay within this. And this is, in my mind, something that you'll approve every fiscal year.
Yeah, because as you get raises, these
Yes,
numbers.
the whole plan changes.
And the whole thing moves around. I move approval.
Move for approval, second. Second. Duly seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign, resolution has passed.
And I compliment Loretta and Sonia and the others who worked in these days for what the work you put into it, and whoever else, with you, Robert and...
Philip helped a lot.
Huh?
Philip.
Whoever worked on it, it was a good job.
Also, Philip got to set his salary.
No. Far from the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, we move on to the next item, Resolution 2018-38, a resolution of the City of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, approving an agreement between the City of Mount Pleasant and Maury County, Tennessee, for a long-term lease of parking lot shown as Track 1 of the Plat Book 15, page 122 of the Maury County Register of Deeds Office.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is something that the county has requested. As you're aware, we already have a signed memorandum of understanding that you approved months ago. Last night at the county commission, as I stated earlier, they had 4 items on the agenda that related to the courtroom. One was accepting the property that was donated, one was allowing the architectural fees, and one was the guaranteed maximum of the $2.89 million. And the final one was the parking lot lease. And Corey and I have never understood why they really need the lease, but we see it no different. The most important words in the entire lease are not exclusive. So they are leasing the parking lot, but it is not exclusive to them, and if it's filled because stores are filled, that's just, it is what it is. It does give them, the only time it would really come up is if we decided we wanted to build something on the parking lot. Well, they have a lease for 40 years on the parking lot, and we have to, work through that because it is a lease. But really, very similar to the MOU. They seem to want it.
Just the way the county's done it forever.
Yeah.
But the courthouse ain't built for 40 years. But
There's language in there, if it's ceases to be a courthouse, that the lease is no longer good. It's very specific to that too. Yeah, and if the courthouse is never built, there's no lease. It's all related to there being a courthouse there. Yeah.
Chair will entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve has been duly made. Is there a second? Been duly seconded. Further discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion resolution is passed. Item J, approval of purchase order for the spin bike.
Yes, the dollar amount, Mayor and Commissioners, is over $20,000. This is all part of the grant that we received, so we just need your approval for the purchase order. The company that we had hoped to work with is Pitchfork out of Redwood, Tennessee, and the bid is $20,682. and we will proceed with ordering once we have your approval.
How many bikes?
18.
Entertain a motion to approve first.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to approve, second. Duly seconded, further discussion. All in favor signify by saying
I have a
aye.
question. Does that include everything, Thomas, of what we were talking about, to do with the room, or is that
No,
just the bike?
that's just
But I
the
take the bikes, and then, yeah, we still got the rest of it with the sound and all that.
Okay, but that's all in the grant too, then?
It's all in the
That's in the
grant,
grant.
and it doesn't fall under the dollar amount. We'll have to bring it to your attention. We just need to get bids.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a grant, it's not city.
No match.
No
Yeah.
matching funds?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Burr Regional Healthcare Foundation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we did take bids on this, just to, we took on our bids.
We advertise in the paper and everything.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That purchase order is approved. This concludes our regular meeting. This time we'll have general comments from citizens. Do you have a list? Okay, we have two people signed up to speak. Diane James is first on the list. If she would come forward, state her name and address and subject you wish to speak on, you'll have not over 5 minutes to speak on.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Diane James. I live in Columbia, Tennessee, 2431 Steve Drive. I'm here to speak on behalf of our senior citizens. We understand that you all are moving us. It's a done deal. But what we would like to do is for you all to come in and give us an area that can be designated just for us where we can put our crafts when we do them. Thomas has the closet there. We could take the whole closet. And that way we'll have space to put whatever we do in without, and yeah, I did say that I don't think this will work with us being in the kids. That's not a negative statement, that's just reality. Because we had painted some bricks, we set them out there, the kids took them and broke them. So if we don't have anywhere to put things that we make, you know, what's the need? We need space, and we needed to be able to lock things up where that nobody can get in them and destroy them. I mean, all of us have been kids. Every one of us have done something that we didn't have any business doing. And I just feel like that we need an area that we can lock up and call our own. And Thomas has said he would share that storage, but we need the whole storage. You know, a third of that is not going to be enough. No, I don't need a desk, but Mary needs a desk. I'm out there acting with the people, interacting with the people. But we do need somewhere where we can keep our refrigerator, our snacks, and all of that kind of stuff. You can't leave that stuff out in the open with kids. I mean, everybody knows that. And so if I'm negative, so be it. But it's just a true statement. Kids are going to be kids, and seniors need a place that we can call our own. That's all we're asking for. Thomas has already informed me that it's a done deal. But why can't we take that storage closet where we can slide our TVs in there? Because, I mean, my church friends work hard to get those 2 TVs. And we got a refrigerator. We have our little snacks in there. We put drinks and water. So we need somewhere we can call our own to lock up our stuff so that when we come in the next day, it'll be there. That's all we're asking for. And I don't really think that's too much. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Ann Jones. And if you come forward, honey.
Basically, some of the things that I...
State your name and address just
Oh,
for
I'm
the
sorry.
record.
Ann Jones, 205 Second Avenue, Mount Pleasant. Been there for 60-something years.
Okay.
I feel like that if you're not a senior citizen already, you will be someday. We come over there to fellowship, we play bingo. This is sometimes the only time that when some of our senior citizens get out is to come to the senior citizens for lunch and to just chit-chat and whatever. And I don't know how big spin bikes are or whatever, but I can't see that taking our room where it has been senior citizens for years and put bikes in there and sticking us off in the back in a dark place with nowhere to look out the window. As Diane said, we buy our own drinks. We have a little refrigerator we bought. We have a television. There's not going to be anywhere to put those things in the back. Now, sometimes it's even been when she locks the door. And supposedly supposed to have on the key. I don't know if I'm going or not. But there has been, at times, things disturbed even in there. I got 3 great grandkids in that school, in those schools. And I know, I've raised 3 boys. I know how important it is to have something for our young people. But I also know how important it is to have something for us. We don't have. Well, I just feel like that it's not right to set us aside and in a place where, or out of a place where it has been the senior citizens' room. Where we can even, we can look out the windows, we can watch the traffic, we can see it raining. Those are things that we enjoy. We're not asking too much. We would just love to stay where we are, where Mary can have an office, and where we can continue. We have a very good group here tonight supporting us. I'm just pleading our case.
Thank you, Ann. And, Thomas, I'm going to ask you to come forward for a moment, not a further comment, but from why are you asking to make these changes? What precipitated this? It didn't just fall out of the sky. What
For the
what made
changes?
you,
For the reason?
what made you want these changes?
I wanted to change because obviously we need to expand. I think that the seniors do need to expand their area. So I think that moving out, the closet issue, not an issue whatsoever. I can totally use the closet on the other side of the thing if that's what we need to do. That's not a big indicator
Just
for
being
me.
difficult moving TVs, dragging
Yeah,
them
I
out,
mean,
dragging them back every day, but.
I mean, closet issue is not an issue with me, but my thing is, I've seen a lot of other people that have come over there to the senior center in the past, and when I first came here, I wanted to see the program expand. First, there was probably, 4, 5, 6 people maybe. How many was there when you first started, Diane?
I don't know, but since I've been there, it has grown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, it is growing, so when she first came in, we probably had about 6 or 7 maybe.
Probably.
There's
And
probably
we got
6 or
like
7
20
there.
something now.
And I've seen a lot of people that want to, see more. They want to see the activities. I do have people who want to play pool. Mr. Brooks talked about shuffleboard and different things like that. So eventually, if we put the spin somewhere else in the building and they expand, I don't know what we're going to do. I'd rather go ahead and look at long-term of what we can do right now and move them into that side of the building. So in the afternoon, you have the teenagers. In the morning, you have the seniors. We got a nice pool table we just picked up last week, whatever.
And also to add that we have seniors that come to us that don't go to the senior center because there isn't enough to do. So we feel like we can grow the program for members that are participating now.
All right, let me ask you a question. How many square feet is the room they're in now?
That is, do we have the measurement?
I don't have it on the top of my head, but we have it. It's big enough to put all
Okay,
the
just
spin
tell
lights.
us- Let me ask my question. How big is the room you're putting in?
It's going to be on the east-hand side.
I'm just asking per foot.
About 8,000 square feet.
Done yet, Bill. Before that room.
That
All right.
side is probably 8,000 maybe?
4,000.
4,000?
Or with taking the TCAT out, yeah.
All
That's
right.
right.
So the size they're in is?
500, 600 at the most. At the
most.
About 400 square feet, I guess.
I'm going to interject something here, though, because I've already been over there and talked to these people. You're putting them in a dark room that the kids play in, and having been a teacher, that's fine to put all those kids in there and they have a good old time. You're talking about these ladies and gentlemen that are in a bright, airy room that is their room, where they have been, and they can go play pool, and Mr. Brooks and I talked about the shuffleboard. They can go down there and turn those lights on and do that. But you're talking about taking them from that bright, airy room That'll be able to look out those windows and that, and if you go in that other room, it is dark and dank, and it is not fun sitting there. It's fun for the kids after school, because they're running around and they don't even stay down there. They go outside and that's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
I was told the plan was going to be to make it something. They were gonna put a window in there. We've already got a bid, which is totally ridiculous.
How much does that
We have to get the
cost?
volunteers to put the window in there, we put it in there.
If we were creating in the corner where the tables were, where they would have similar what they have now in a larger room, granted, and, you know.
If we had to put some lights
have
down
to
there, we put
do
some
some
lights down
additional
there.
lighting, we can do that.
Can I ask another question too, please?
Ask anything you want to, go ahead.
Is the spin class, from my understanding, is a very visual lighting effect,
Yes, sir.
screen to
loud.
look at, that type stuff?
Yes, sir.
And
It's
loud.
Then why do you want to take these folks out of a very lit room, which will be detrimental to the spin class?
Thank you.
Because it's very visual. I've been in one of them, and
Right.
it's light flashing, and it's,
Noisy.
and it's a dark room, much like what you would see in a movie theater. And
They
then
want
you're
to
gonna
sit
take
down there, yeah.
these folks, and you say we want to expand and the spin class as well, correct? Is that not our intention? We're gonna purchase additional spin bikes when we
We
get
just,
out?
if the program's successful, yeah.
Okay. So, maybe I'm missing something here in a big way, but in my mind, a spin class should be in a darker room because it's very visual. It encourages
Not a dark
you.
class, though.
That is.
Not the ones I've been to.
I mean,
Still, it's not right to uproot them when they think
You see what I'm saying? Visual.
Okay, one at a time, that's all, one at a time.
So, that's why I'm asking square footage, why are we, and you, I don't know, you don't seem, I don't, I'm
So,
not been up.
as if we were to expand the spin program, behind that wall, the way I've got it designed in there, that back wall right there, you could easily knock out some of the bricks. That goes right into another closet, which is on the west-hand side. And there's already a sprinkler system and everything in there, so you can use that room. You can actually put an additional 12 to 15 bikes in there. So that would be an easy expansion for the spin room. Normal spin rooms are not in a, if you have it in a huge area that's way too open, you can do that, but most places have them in a smaller zone, in a smaller area.
Lost the idea of the program if you put it in a big room like that.
I think what happens is people
Because
don't, it's not as
everybody's working as a
successful
team,
as the
doing the same
program.
thing together.
But that's what,
We want to
But
grow.
why can't we move stuff out of that big closet down where the tables and stuff is stored, put the spin room there, which has no windows or nothing, and they will have their sound effect. Just saying, so they stay where they been all the time.
That's not big, that closet would never be big enough. It wouldn't be big enough for 18 bikes.
I think that
But
closet
the
is
point that we're trying to get across is, we're trying to keep a program exactly the way it is, and we believe the program can grow and have more participation than it has.
but you're taking one program, Kate,
Right.
for one specific group of people that's not grown, it's not strong, and we are growing a senior center. And I've met with these people, and I've met with the people in Columbia, and taken a group of 20-something people that is growing, and taking them and saying, we are moving you to put these here. And I understand it, and I talked to them, and we could put windows in there and that, but this is there, and it's a sense of, this is ours, just like
Right.
that's designated, that's the kids' room down there. It's very much a teen room, and the adults can go down there and play pool and that, because it's not during the day and that. If necessary, why couldn't those spin bikes be put off and partition off down there, and put those spin bikes in there? You don't need windows in the spin room. Thank you.
The noise with TCAT, because we do have
Got a
TCAT on the other
classroom.
side of the wall, will be an issue with the noise level, with spin.
Well, then put it down and take part of our big room down there and have that.
Can't do that, that's the only we can rent.
I wouldn't have a
out.
problem with that, but, that's not an option.
We just had a huge wedding there over the weekend.
But to me, you're saying, and this is what I'm saying, you're saying these people are less than, and that's how I feel.
And we're trying to grow their program, we're giving them more
But you're
activity.
not growing it in the way and listening to them.
We're saying there's other,
To their-
Let me say something. We're not gonna let this get out of hand, folks. It's not gonna happen. The senior program, I'm going to let you speak just a second, John. The senior program in Columbia is a very active program. It's appropriated $31,000 out to that from Murray County government every year. Used to, Mount Pleasant got a separate stipend out of that. They cut that out for some reason, I don't know why. But there was a lot of politics went on, a lot of begging went on. But please ask and give us a program down here. What's happened is, this program is, I think Columbia would be happy if we didn't have the program.
They would be.
And we would, and they have offered that we'll send the buses down to get you. Now, this is not the current, I'm just telling you what's happened over the years. This is not the current director up there. But I've been on that board. I'm on the board now, but I don't go to the meetings. But I've been on that board for 12 years as the county mayor. They have a very good program up there, but this program down here doesn't get proper funding. And they get a lot of volunteer type donations in and so forth, and have a lot of programs. If you look at what they have versus what we have very little. And I think that's what Thomas is trying to do when people have come in, because we have a lot of new people down here. It's not just us old folks that have been here for so long, and they're wanting something different. They want something else. They don't have any problem with what we're doing, but they'd like to do something else too. And that's how it was told to me.
And that's how it's been told to me. I've had people come in, I've had 15 or 20 people since I've been here. I'm in the center lot. I try to encourage people to come over there, and they say, I don't want to just, I don't mean just sit in a room, but they want to be, because they are doing activities in that room, but they want to see more. They want to see the expansion of, we're just sitting right there in our room at these little tables up against the wall.
My thing with this is, if it grows, it benefits the seniors. It will benefit more money coming down from Murray County government. Senior citizen program and government are two separate programs. They run two separate ways. And it's funny stuff, but if we can grow this program, and our seniors can have what they have today, and we can have some additional things. That's the only reason I would support it, is because we can have what we've got, plus we can have something in addition to it.
You could have 50 or 60 in there a day, is what, easily. I mean, you could have more than that, but that would be, if you look, the people I talk to that are new, that are moving into town as well, they want activities. They want, the retired force, people that are 55 and older, they're looking for that. They're looking for more things to do.
Well, I'm going to let Ms. John speak. She didn't sign up, but she's a regular. She wouldn't come up here.
I didn't know all this was going to be done tonight.
Well, we didn't know it.
Not on the agenda. Yeah.
Okay, now, what I'm finna say, you can take it as hard, or you can get mad. First of all, before you was even thought of it, that building was built for the senior citizens. It was built for the senior citizens, long before you were thought of it.
I don't think so.
I'm talking about before he even thought about coming this way.
I did?
No, I'm talking about...
Oh, him, yeah.
Yeah.
But
what I'm saying, they had put seniors over here. They were over at the
Old Halong School.
Old Halong School.
Cafeteria, in the Bat Building, I call it.
Yeah, the Bat Building. And they got and they had to find somewhere to go. Okay. They put it, when they broke ground, they said this would be for the seniors.
They would always have a place.
That was okay.
Who said that?
That was
It was in the paper.
That was the intent, Jim, that's.
I went to the groundbreaking, I didn't hear it.
That was it.
I was told they were supposed to have East Hall.
I went to the groundbreaking, I did not hear that. That building was built for the community, the whole community, not just the
No,
city.
but they would always, the intent was they would have a home
They
there.
do, they
Well,
don't have.
that's what I'm clarifying.
but
They
the
would have a
building-
home,
Okay.
no, they would have a home there.
Okay. But what I'm saying and all, why is it that all of a sudden, he wants to bring in this, he wants to bring in that, and bring in all of this for the teenagers and all? And the only suggestion I can say to you, Thomas and Kay Collier, since y'all writing so many grants, why don't you write a grant and get your own bill?
Yeah.
Make it, get and have it designed for the way that you want to put your spin class or your whatever else that you think that might draw folks in, because we have come a long ways. How long have you been on there, Miss James?
I haven't even been there a year yet, and we have grown.
We began to budge the wall. Begin to budge the wall. I don't get to come over there every day like I should because of my schedule, the way I work. But when I'm available, I will go over there and enjoy myself.
Ms. Jones, in defense of Thomas and having worked with him, and when it came, there were two gentlemen that were on this board before that. There were two commissioners who wanted to close that center, the community center. You remember? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. There were two commissioners here that wanted to, our mayor and our former vice mayor, who sat here in the meeting, it's in the minutes, who wanted to close it. And that's when we fought so hard to get a recreation. He fought very hard to keep it open, but I'll keep it real short. Keep it short, and so we got it open, and he's fought real hard to have it. We need to expand, and that is what we need to do. But right now, if you will be patient and let us talk further and get that, and bear with us so that we can. Nobody's going to kick you out.
Well, we're not worried about being kicked out, Ms. Blankenship, but I would like to say this, and then I'm finished with the whole deal. But you're talking about knocking the wall out for the spin bikes, knock the wall out for the seniors, you know? And yeah, we're not the same as Columbia. When I came here, they had a little video television with a long tube. My church friends and I got together, we cooked dinner, the seniors sold tickets, and we got 2 televisions and a VCR and all of that stuff that we didn't have. I don't mind begging.
And you
know,
that
I don't mind begging to help the seniors. But my thing is, you know, just take them into consideration. And like I said, you're going to knock a wall out later, knock it out now for us so that when we expand, we'll have it. And God knows I go around begging anybody in Mount Pleasant and tell you, I ask people to come over. And even with this situation, I tell people, don't stop coming. You know, we don't want the program to end. And like I said, yeah, maybe I do sound negative to some people, but I'm only speaking the facts and being real about it.
I think it's more frustration than negative.
Yeah, it is frustration.
It is.
Negative. So
it's always something going on whenever I go over there.
And Thomas and what they've done with everything has been positive. What they've done with the kids, what you've done with the seniors, both of that has been positive. We'll work something out with it to see. So now that we've all been made aware of it, and that, give us some time to do that, and nobody's going to get kicked out. That's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
So in other words,
we got 5,093 people here, which is more than in my lifetime. It's never been exceeded except in...
How many?
5,093 on the census.
In our community.
I remember when we went to 3,500, 3,503, we got the 4th liquor store.
See, I worked the census and wasn't aware that was going on.
Yeah.
Didn't know we had that many in there. And that's after they went back and redone.
And
we did a special.
Special, okay. And but I'm not being harsh and I'm not being negative about it, but I didn't think I was going to live to be 40, but the Lord blessed me to be 73.
You're just a young girl. Huh?
Wait a minute. Hold up. And I didn't think, like I said, blessed me to get 73 because the rest I was running. I think I'm making the father, but that ain't what I'm trying to say. If you keep living and you got to be a senior, you'll get there and you appreciate what we going through and be glad to sit across the table and say, glad to see you today, huh?
Okay, we've had enough time. I'm going to call the meeting adjourned. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned. You can't talk all you want to.
No, you didn't give me the right amount of time. Hey, Miss
you over there and help me with planning of events we have. We've got some events coming up, I need your input. I don't know why it wasn't saying that about me.
They don't need an opinion on that. They don't need a